Okay guys, this is going to be an install video for Epoch Admin Tools. I just went through my whole GitHub again and updated everything. I just made it compatible with Overpoch. So you get an extra crate spawning option with Overpoch and they don't spill out of the crate. I also added some new building crates in there. Among other things, I did a few other things, but everything is updated, everything is working 100%. There's a few little, goofy bugs and stuff, but that's mostly with the GUI based building spawner. And the base manager doesn't work with vectors yet. But anyways, you click here, download it, and then get the install instructions are down here. Okay. Fairly easy to install. I've reverted a couple things that were kind of a pain in the ass. I went back to the old system of key binding that works just as good. So, and I've also added it so you can use hotkeys to activate your admin tools. So, go to where you downloaded the thing, unzip it. All right, close that one. Everything you need is in here. And open up your DayZ servers, and you can choose either Epoch or, like, I just installed an Overpoch server. Doesn't matter. Let's do Overpoch just for the hell of it because you get an extra crate. But it's the exact same thing. The install is the exact. Well, what am I doing? Hold on. Did I do that right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So before you install any kind of mods or anything, make sure you back up your PBOs. Okay, we had a working server and we need to back this up. Back up our PBOs. So you make a folder on the desktop. Overpoch, Shinars, backup. Don't leave your backups in here. Put them remote. Okay, grab this and just move it here. We're going to be making our updates in here. Do the same thing with the server PBO. Back that up. Copy here. I might as well extract it. Right, delete this one. We got a backup in here. And we're going to be making edits in here. So, back to the mission folder. You need to copy over this admin tools folder. These are just for Knox. You can look at these pictures. I just did some screenshots of the in-game stuff. Did I just close that? Yeah, I did. I'm losing it. So you copy over the admin tools folder, and then if you have a server host where it doesn't allow custom DLLs, then don't bother copying these over. Otherwise, they go in your main directory. Just select both of them, copy them over. And you don't have to use those, by the way. That's optional. Your BattlEye, we'll do BattlEye last. Back in MP missions, you need to go into, let's minimize that. So you copied over the admin tools. And DLLs need to go into init.sqf. Let's make this a bit smaller so I can see everything. Okay, so let me move this mic down. So first step, you want to find this line here. So just open up Control F, copy paste it in there, find next. There it is. You want to put these directly above. So just click here, enter, and just put them in there just like that. I actually have this is what it should look like when you're done. Okay. You need to find your anti-hack. So Control F, Control V to paste, find it, there it is, and copy it over with this one. I don't know why it does this, but I'll move these back up. Right, just fix the formatting there a little bit. And you want to paste this at the very bottom. So go down here, hit enter, paste it, and you're done with init.sqf. Go ahead and save that, close it, and then open up description.ext. And you need to paste this at the very bottom. Just like that. Save that, close it. Now you need to get your player ID and put it in. You open up Admin Tools and you go to config.cfg. The easiest place to get this is to just open up Arma 2, your game, and load into the thing, and you can look at your player. That's it for, once you do that, that's it. Otherwise, you can start looking at some of these, obviously debug monitors on by default. I just added that. That's Knox's debug monitor. I put that in there because I think most people want a debug monitor optional. Anyways, all the tools I added, there's a server-side AI spawner now. You can choose Hero Bandit, be awarded Humanity and Bandit and Hero kills. And all that crate spawning stuff is server side because of those new BE server config stuff, those limitations. So go to player profile, hit edit, there's your Steam ID, player ID, type it in here. And then copy that, hit cancel here, multiplayer. So you just need to put it up here in Super Admin. The only difference between Super Admin and Admin is they get Super Admins get reports what's going on in game. Some of the stuff is turned off by default. The weather changer, it works. I just don't have it on because by default, because that's the way Knox had it. Again, if you don't have those DLLs, if you can't have them on a hosted server, set this to false. These are the logging tools that go into the DLLs. So set both of these to false. Safe zones, really not much to do there. I did add dynamic text to the safe zones. It looks really cool. I have it on by default, but you can change it back to hint, cut text, or dynamic text. And don't use hint if you have the debug monitor on because it's in the same spot. Custom safe zones, you can add, what do they have? Bandit, Hero, Aircraft. You can add the boat traders or something. Just get the markers out of mission.sqm. This you should probably change if you're going to use the building spawner, the GUI building spawner. This should be like 100 meters or better. This is how you activate the admin tools now. It's F2 and tab. But you can revert to the old system. I just made it optional. You can hit these to false and it will automatically give you the self-action things. But I think some people noticed a problem with them, and I did too, that they would disappear on occasion. This is your AI spawner options. This is how much humanity you will gain or lose based on whether you kill a bandit or a hero. And this is the delete timer, and that's in seconds, so it's 10 minutes. However long you want the AI to sit on your server. I just set it at 10 minutes. That seems to be good. The rest of this stuff is pretty straightforward. It's, do you allow bike building? You want parts required? You want a toolbox required? Flip vehicle? All these are optional. I added view distance and I added remove grass to the player action menu. So those are new features. They are turned on by default. allow contact. This contact admin stuff, I'm not really a fan of it, so it was turned off by default anyway. But yeah, just go to the configs here if you want to change stuff, enable stuff, disable stuff. Save it. All you need to do is put your admin. If you have a mod, then you're just limited to. You have less tools. You can only spawn Epoch vehicles rather than all the vehicles in Arma. Done with the mission file. So we're gonna pack this into a PBO. Delete this one, and we're gonna go over to the server PBO. And we need to copy some files over, so we need that. Is that it? Yeah. Go into DayZ. You see how I did this? I had the same folder. So you have a DayZ server here and here. Open this one, open this one, open compile, open this compile, and you need to copy these 3 files over to this directory. Okay. And the last thing you need to do is the BattlEye out of this folder, but now you go in and do some copy paste in here. You need to go into init folder and server functions, edit that, and you want to find this line here, but it's right there, spawn vehicles, and you want to add these lines below it. These are your server side functions. So put right there, paste them, and I don't know, I could back them up a little bit so they're even, right? Just like that. Save it, close it, and you need to go into mission check. This, if you're running a private server and you're not concerned about somebody overriding your mission file, that's a common hack. It's an exploit due to insecurity in Arma. Just the code. I think the new patch that's coming out pretty soon, the 1.6.4 patch, will fix that. But you need to add all these files so that what it does is the server checks, compares the client downloaded mission file against the copy that's on the server, so you can't override it and try to do some bullshit. So you need to copy all these. You see that's got a comma in front of it. So copy all these, and they need to be in these brackets, right? So put your cursor here on the end of server traders.sqf and paste. Control V, paste, right? That one doesn't have a bracket on it, but they should all be in there like that. Okay, that just checks all these files to make sure that nobody's tried to inject any code into them, or not inject, but put any code in there, change them, mission override. Okay, so it should look like that. You need to go into System, Scheduler, and Schedule Safety Vehicle. This top line here needs to be replaced with this line. You don't have to put the Epoch Admin Tools part in. That's just so you can see where the edits were made. So make sure you copy the whole thing all the way out to this bracket, this curly brace, and copy over this line. Right, so you should see a curly brace there on the end, and it should match up to that one. And then save that, close it. Okay, need to go into compile and update server update object. Server update object. This line right here, object ID, you need to put this above it. So hit enter there and paste that in there, back this up. Okay, done with that. That just checks the, it exits that script if it's one of these temp vehicles. Okay, so we're done with the server PBO. Pack that back up. Delete that. And here is your keybinds. If you want to know all of the keybinds, here they are. Okay. So we need to go do the BattlEye. That was up above that step, but I do it last because it's over in this other, So there's BattlEye, and we need to go back into the download, open BattlEye, copy all of these, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then paste them in here and replace them. Okay, it's good. I almost got away with not having that one except for that bullshit. It's filtering for that. So that has to be set to a 1. So a couple of things about the BattlEye. In create vehicle dot text, the only things that are filtered, accepted, are the spawnable Mozzie and the spawnable bike and those little spheres that spawn when you do the base manager. If you want to use that GUI building spawner, you have to set this to a 1. That's for log only. 5 is kick and log. And also this one right here, number 16. That's just if you want to use... I didn't add all those buildings to those arrays. It's not good for security to do that, so I would recommend only using the GUI build. If you're on a public server, right? Use the GUI building spawner once in a reset just to build your POIs. It needs work though. That GUI builder needs work. And then after you're done, you'd change these back to a 5, right? Don't leave these as a 1. I don't recommend it. That way hackers can spawn in vehicles and nothing will get filtered. Okay? So just remember that. The other thing, let's see. Oh, and BE server config. This is one thing I want you to be aware of. When you use the base manager, it spawns these little red spheres, and if you make your dome too big, you will exceed this threshold. They are vehicles, so when you create the vehicles, you can create 150 of them in 1 second. So if you have too big of a dome, you will exceed this threshold, and you have 2 options. Either don't make big domes or increase this number. Okay? That's about all there is, really. Yeah, that's it. So we can log on to the server now. And if we did this correctly, we should be able to turn on admin tools. So let's fire up the Overpoch server. Remember, that's the same shit on Epoch. It's the exact same install. Everything is the same. So if we see a debug monitor, we did something right. That's a slow login, isn't it? Okay, so we have a debug monitor. We did something right. We'll turn the earplugs on so you can actually hear me. So the debug monitor. That's just the default one now for that Knox put up on his GitHub. Okay, you can configure this stuff, or you can remove it. You can add stuff to it, right? That is in open up the admin tools folder, and it's in debug monitor. Just right click on this and hit edit with notepad, and see there's where the server name would go, the website message if you want one, and let's see, I believe you can just delete this whole, let's see, he's got a lot of instructions in here. Used on line 41 for server subtitle. I think it's I can't remember if these are, he's got instructions in here on how to do it. I don't want to go over that. But if you want to customize that debug monitor, you go for it. Anyways, you toggle it on and off with the insert key. So you hit insert, it goes away. Insert, it comes back. Okay. And to turn on your admin tools now, by default, it is the F2 key. So there's your main menu. And you can exit with that, or you can right click to get out of it. And then your action menu, the player action menu, is tab. Right, there's the set view distance that I just added. If you look off in the distance, you see all that fog up there. So if I bump this up to 5K, it all goes away. All right, that's not good for, if you have weak hardware running ARMA, then you might want to not do that. You just have to look at your frames. You can see there's an FPS counter here. I'm getting 60 solid. This is a good machine though. Some people just don't have, strong machines. So you can build a bike, you can build a Mozzie, pack a bike, pack a Mozzie. You just have to look at it and you can just hit pack. You can flip vehicle, suicide. All of this works. All of this stuff works, and you can dance and do karate and all that shit. All of this works. Let's see, server rules. It's just this. I didn't edit any of this. You can just edit that yourself. Yeah, that's it for action. Since I'm logged in as admin, I don't see the toggle grass. That's the only option I don't see. Because I have toggle grass when I turn on admin mode, right? And I also, it's here. You can add it. You can add it if you want. If you want to add it, you just go in there and edit the menu and add it for admins. But I don't know. It's not really that important. But anyway, new feature: the graphical vehicle menu is now exclusive. I got rid of the old menu because I added 2 new buttons up here. This is generating a vehicle list. This is all vehicles, right? Everything in ARMA. You can spawn anything, and you can spawn it temporary or permanent. So I can spawn one of these temp, right? I can go in and spawn. This takes a little while when it's in all the vehicles. It has to generate a list from reading the files out of ARMA. If I go air vehicles, right, that filters all air vehicles, land vehicles, filters all land, sea vehicles. If you hit this Epoch vehicles, that just displays the stuff that you can buy and sell at the traders. So that makes it quicker if you're looking for a vehicle that somebody needs because they bought one at the traders and it blew up or some shit. So you can filter this as well. So if you're on Epoch, you can filter for air. You can filter for land vehicles. These are all the land vehicles sold at traders. And sea. You click back on all vehicles and it generates you the full list again, and you can filter. That took a while to get that to work, but I'm pretty happy with that. All vehicles air, you can spawn in, crazy stuff. This is all done server side so you don't get kicked by BattlEye. One thing you do need to be aware of though, I did turn off the one, let me go ahead since I did that. Let me, let's see. Okay, so I have Hydras. Okay, now notice in BattlEye, create vehicle, okay. This would have kicked me. These Hydras. All these ARMA vehicles, when they have projectiles like that, missiles and bombs, ARMA considers those vehicles. So the way, if you want to turn those back to 5, if you notice you're getting kicked, just grab from quote to quote here. Copy that. And it'll be, these numbers line up with the lines in here. So you see that says 0? Okay, well there's no line 0 in Notepad++, and this is a comment. So this is line 0. Line 2 is actually 0. It starts counting here. So you need to go to the end, just like you see these right here. So space and then exclamation point, equal sign, and then that. That will, if you put that in there and then save it, the next time when the server restarts, you won't get kicked for shooting hydras anymore. But you do that with all of the armor vehicles. But some of these, even the land vehicles have, it takes a while to generate that list because it's reading. But Epoch is really fast because it's just an array. Okay, air vehicle. No, well, I'm going to go land vehicles, but I want to spawn in some kind of a tank. Okay, so temp or permanent, doesn't matter. The temp vehicles don't save on restart. So let me get in as gunner. Okay, so I can fire these. What else do I have? I guess that's all I got. But let me see if that also logged. Some of them do, some of them don't. The hydras for sure do. See, no, that didn't log. So you just have to go and try. What I would do is set this to a 1. They're all going to be, all the vehicles are going to be on this line 2. Set that to a 1. Fire all the missiles and bombs in every vehicle and see what kind of log generates and look for that, you know, number 0, and then add those exceptions if you want to have that stuff on your server. I didn't add that stuff because I didn't know who wanted what, so I just did defaults. This is for the GUI building thing. Some of these have land in their titles. In fact, let me go ahead and, so you hit the delete key and you get this menu. It's yes or no, right? So I changed that. It used to be a countdown timer, but I did that because that's faster, I think. And there's no accidents. You just delete and go like that. You can also do it through the tools. There's Epoch with cursor target. Here's a delete item. It does the same thing. You have, just go through these tools and have a look, see. One of the coolest things I just added is where you can send a server message. Right? Okay. And what was the other thing I was... Oh, the AI spawner. This is pretty cool. You can select hero or bandit. Let me select bandit. And then this is how far of away from their center they can move. So let's go just 50 meters. And then let's select 4. And then it opens up the map now. It never did this before, but it opens up the map and you can choose a spot anywhere on the map to spawn them. So let me spawn them right here. Available to hill. There they are right there. So there's 4 of them right there. And they're going to start shooting at me. Look at my bandit kills and my humanity. There's one more left. He's behind a bush. There he is. So you can see I get 25 humanity plus because they're bandits, and then I get bandit kills. Okay? So you can adjust that if you want, and too big. And these load out with Epoch guns. I didn't add Overwatch guns to these because that's not a big deal. Since this is Overpoch, the only difference is the crate menu. You get this Overwatch weapons crate. If you're in Epoch, you don't see that because obviously you don't need it. I also added a building crate menu. So I added all these different building crates. Small, medium, large with cinder. Small, medium, large with wood kits. This is the admin build kit that has a shitload of stuff. Go back to main menu, crate. This is the Overwatch weapons crate. Choose your delay. I wouldn't go less than, I guess, 3 minutes because it... Okay, so it spawns over there and then it should come to my feet. Yeah, so that's server side now, so it's a little bit slower than client side, but again, because of that max create vehicle per interval limit, you can't spawn them uh, client side anymore. But this is actually better. It makes the mission size smaller and works good. So you can do all weapons crate has been so that one spawned at my feet. That's been changed. See, none of the guns end up spilled out on the ground before. They used to do that because they'd spawn 5 of each, and of course there's like 500 Overwatch guns, so there'd be 2,500 guns which don't fit in any crate. But there's an Overwatch, complete list of Overwatch guns, every gun, and all the ammo for it. Just 20 of each mag. Some of them have like 50, like those are common. Yeah, those are kind of common, so there's 30 of them. There's 50 of those, you know. This all weapons has everything in it. A lot of this stuff here is Epoch. There's the Anzio, AS50s, you know, thermals. They're all in there. That is one massive crate. A lot of other stuff in there. There's also going to be the Epoch weapons crate, which spawns with 5 of each. You can only spawn 1 of each of those because there's just too many damn guns. They don't fit in the crate. But this will spawn. It takes a minute to get there, so you've got a cursor target. So that's 5 of each of every weapon that's sold in the traders, plus a couple others like the AS50, all the different crossbows. Every gun is in there, and all the ammo for it. Pistols. Okay, so yeah, crate spawning. What else? So if you want to teleport, you hit 4, and it opens up the map, and you just click on the map. So if I go over here, okay, there I'm at Starry, and I'll show you the dynamic text messages. They're kind of cool. They're up top. They're green. You can change the color, of course, and the positioning. See? Safe zone, no stealing or shooting allowed. I think that stays up there for 7 or 8 seconds. Sometimes they're kind of goofy. They don't stay up there for the full amount of time. But the safe zones work. I don't know what else to show you. Skin change still works. Right. When you're in admin mode, you see it says F4 for options. So you hit F4 and you can turn yourself invisible. You just toggle these on and off by hitting F4. You can turn flying on, right? Go forward. Hit spacebar to hover. Hit spacebar again to turn it off. Yeah, F4. Enhanced ESP. When you have enhanced ESP on, you can hit 7, and you can choose different things to show on the screen. Right now it's showing vehicles. These are all the vehicles on the map. 7 again, you can turn off. You know, just keep hitting that, and you just toggle them if it says true or false. So those, and you can, Epoch missions is all of the supply crates, like the containers and net. I should change that, but that's the default name. Hit 4, and you can see that it's one of these supply drops. And all the teleport player to and from and spectate, all of that works. I tested that with a second account on a different computer. I had them both logged in, and I could make all that work. So it should show the heli crash sites. One spawns. What was that? Do you hear that clunky noise? There's a crash site right there. 4 to teleport over there, and 5 is to teleport a player to you. 6 is to teleport to the player. those keybinds can be changed. That's just the ones I set up by default. So this is a crash site. Fair enough. Probably getting long on the video. So F2 is your admin tools. Tab is your player action menu. I like this setup. I like it better than having it automatically show up on the side, you know, as a scroll menu. Just hit F2 and there you go. It takes away the loop too, so it's more efficient. The Epoch menu, the base manager, you can copy and paste bases. So if you hit center, and then this is where you got to be careful with the size of your domes, because all of those little dots are vehicles. So if there's more than 150 of them spawned in, you'll get kicked. So you need to change that or just make smaller domes. And then you can copy a base. You can turn around, you can paste a base somewhere, and there's obviously no base selected, but oh, I got my flying now. Turn that off. There's vehicle boost, which is cool. It boosts your vehicle speed. Fast walk is cool. That's control shift, or shift W, I'm sorry. And the base manager again. There's cursor target menus. You can get the code on safes. You can lock and unlock stuff. That's actually key bound. The U key is to unlock. The L key is to lock. And where did that thing go? There you go. Yeah, let's teleport over here. If you hit the J key, it gives you what that's called. That's crash site EU. Okay, and it shows you some other information. Admin build. You can build your own base without having a plot pole. Right? You can build, that's insta build too. Everything in here works. Change your weapons. Yeah, base manager, you can insert a base. I made a new dialogue. This is something I fixed. It was using the old trader dialogues, which were no longer loaded by default, so it wouldn't work. So you hit insert. I've only got two bases. I got the Bambi bunker, and then this is the test base. You select it, and it comes out in front of you. And you can rotate it. Move it up and down with page up and page down. This doesn't work with vectors though, so if you save a base and try to paste it with vectors, so if you hit spacebar, then you save it, and it saves it to the database. And then somebody just has to put a plot pole down in there to take ownership of it. That's all they have to do. But yeah, this needs an upgrade. It needs to work with vectors. Okay, so somebody just needs to put a plot pole down and they can take ownership of this base. I got some zombies spawning. So to delete this thing, hit F2, go to Epoch, base manager, and then set center. Set radius. Be careful of your radius again. Let's see if I get kicked. Nope, I'm small enough. And then you just delete it. And you can choose what gets deleted. I'm going to delete everything. There's just buildables there. Okay, there. Deleted it. And the last option in there, you can export it to an SQF, which goes into, come on, this Epoch Admin Tool logs. There'll be a base list in here, and you can add the bases to the base manager.sqf in the tools. This is just an admin log. This is all those DLLs do. Right, that's just optional. You don't have to have that. But that's it for the install. I went a little long on that just to show you the tools. But Epoch, Overpoch, same thing. New features and shit. You guys have fun with this one. I don't know what the next video I'm going to do, but probably Wicked AI, okay? Well, guys, we'll see you next time, okay?